Who are some of the most important people in your life? Don't say it out loud, but to yourself right now, who's one of the most important people in your life? And here's the truth I want you to think about. We're all going to have different names, but here's the truth. The most important people in our lives are not known by most people. Ponder that for a moment. The most important people in our lives are not known by most people. And yet, what are we striving for? Fame, notoriety. We want to be one of those TikTok influencers. I want you to stop for a little bit today and think about what's really important. Do you want to be an influencer, or do you want to be an important person who influences? We talked about Noah and pretending to be a cop. When I was a little kid, I took this ping pong paddle right here on the red side, and I wrote the word stop on it. And I would sit on my driveway with a little chair and a whistle. And as my neighbors would drive in the street in Bunting Circle, Fountain Valley, California, my 5-year-old self, the little sleepy, would walk in the middle of the road and go, stop, whoop, and stop my old neighbors. Make them wait a little while, and be like, all right, on your way, and sit back down. And because I'm 5, they thought I was cute. If I was 25, they'd be like, probably run my ass over and just like not even care, right? But when we're young, we make people become more loving because we're so full of love. And who I was emulating was not someone famous. I was emulating one of the most important people in my life when I was 5, Helen the crossing guard. And when we're young, that's what it is with kids. Your first name and your position of service. Neil the mailman, Brahma the ice cream man, Helen the crossing guard. Every day of my life, as I left Ellis Park, walked past that teeter-totter, there was Helen. There's a street light there now, but there wasn't then. And Helen made sure all of us kids crossed the street to Geisler Elementary School of the Fountain Valley School District. And what she was literally doing is something all the important people in your life you just thought of figuratively do every day. What all great leaders do is they stop what they're doing, they put themselves in harm's way, and they help us cross from where we are to a better place. And then take our betterness and cross back home and bring that with us. Bring that with us, that betterness that I got from school every day, growing and gaining in knowledge and wisdom. And every afternoon, there was Helen the crossing guard. I got a smile on her face. Knew us all by name. Helped us cross back home with our betterness. Bringing that betterness to our families, our futures. I can remember one day Helen wasn't there. And it scared us kids. We were so lost without her. A cop eventually came, had to get us across the street. Next day, Helen was back. She made us feel loved. And why was me as a 5-year-old? I wasn't emulating a baseball player or some famous movie star. I was emulating the person no one knew about except for us kids in Fountain Valley. Helen the crossing guard. Because she did what all great leaders do. Help us cross from where we are to a better place. And to bring that better place home. And I saw her many times have to dodge out of the way as cars literally wouldn't stop and almost killed her. She taught me, she was the first non-family member to teach me how to love other people's kids as if they were your own. And so my challenge to you today is I want you to stop and do 2 things today. Stop and think of those important people in your life and express gratitude for them, and then go to them. Send it to them, a text, a phone call, a letter. But also internally, just practice gratitude. And then secondly, I want you to stop, and I want you to help somebody today cross the street, so to speak, figuratively. Do some action of love, of leadership. Because if you ain't loving, you ain't leading. To help someone go from where they are to a better place. And to bring their betterness back home. And every day you stop and try to do those 2 things on purpose, express gratitude, and then give service. There are going to be so many people, when they're asked the question I asked you today, think of the most important people in your life, and your names are going to be on a lot of lists. When you stop and lead with love every day of your life. Right now, what I want you to do, I want you to get your journals and tell me one of the most important people in your life. Who are they? And what's the lesson you've learned? I wouldn't have known this when I was 5, but now I look back, I know it. Who was the hell on the crossing guard in your life, so to speak? Could be a parent, could be a neighbor, a coach, a crossing guard, someone in your life, a mentor, a babysitter. Who are they, and how they help you cross over to a better place in some way? And we're going to submit the canvas a little bit. 2-paragraph minimum, okay?